I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
I feel so superficial, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to slay. Hey guys, welcome to Banigo TV. My name is Princess Banigo, and your girl is looking slay today. These are one of those days that I'm like, okay, girl, wear this makeup. So I'm wearing with Tiwa, that is what it's called, and I have it in store and many others for sale. Okay, so if you're interested in buying wigs, then I'm your plug. But note that the wig won't be coming exactly like this because this has been styled by me to fit me. Okay, so when it comes, you have to style your wig. But if you want it styled, then it's part of what you have to pay for when you're ordering from me. Anyway, let us just get into the video because I'm not here to do marketing. So guys, today we're talking about this woman who is a content creator. She's a YouTuber and a TikToker. So this woman came outside to tell us how to bag the perfect man.
Hey trophies. So today I want to talk about having an abundance mindset when it comes to men. So men are natural hunters and predators. They smell fear. They can tell if you're scared to walk away. So don't ever be afraid to walk away if they're not treating you right. Know your worth and add tax.
Now let's note that this woman, she was a single mother before she met this man. So she met this rich zaddy, who came and swept her off her feet. According to her, he portrayed himself as a Christian man, and she just fell. As a matter of fact, I watched a video where she said as soon as they started talking about marriage, she went and bought a ring of like $300. And then when she bought the ring, when she was FaceTiming with the man one day, she was like, "Oh, I already got our ring." Like, to me, that seemed like desperate much, but what do I know? So she was like, "I already got our ring." The guy was like, "No, you didn't." She was like, "Yeah, I did." This is not a small man, he's a senior man. Yes, let's make that clear. So finally, she got married to the man. Like, not long after they met, she got married, and she has 3 babies for this man. She had 2 sons prior to the marriage. Now, what this man did, like, the story was fitting you guys, Abby, but what this man did is going to bust your head. This man was literally putting his hands on his own daughter. Daughters, both of them, they
6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter. And I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, "Baby, did somebody touch you?" And she ended up saying it was Daddy. At the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, "Don't tell him that you told me." And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house. Because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. And that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, I he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, "Oh, I'm going to the grocery store," that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream.
Both of them, they are 2 and they are 4. The craziest thing is that there were videos where these children were heard screaming. I don't want to even get dramatic right now with the tears. And when I watched those videos, when you could hear the children, I'm going to put those videos and I'll be back.
But I definitely understand it being hard because I stayed in situations much longer than I had to because I had children in those situations. So I understand the struggle of that, definitely. But there's that saying, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you'll make a change, and that's very true. So it's just all about whenever you have the courage to do that. Sorry if my house is noisy in the background. I don't know how much you all can hear, but there's so many of us that it's just like that. So if you hear stuff in the background, just act like you don't. What else do y'all want to talk about? I don't even know what to talk about. I'm just kind of on here answering questions if y'all want me to. I'm talking about a bunch of nothing.
Heard it. You could hear, we couldn't see the children, but we could literally hear their voices. Ow, ew, ow. And the mother just kept on doing what she was doing. And she was like, oh, there were no signs. Girl, there were signs. This man was doing things when you were busy filming and you heard your kids screaming and you did not make a move. Anyway, guys, I have a little clip of her narrating what happened so you can listen from her. And then let's go and listen to what people actually thought about all of this, because this has made people come outside to speak. Everyone is talking about this because you were telling us how to be the perfect wife, how to bag the perfect man, and then this is you in this kind of situation. The thing is, let us listen to people and I'll come back with my honest thoughts.
That man was raping his daughters, his biological daughters, because I feel that when we say he was touching his daughters rather, I don't know, it just has more weight when you call it what it is. He was raping those 2 girls.
You see the trophy wife saga, the whole trophy wife saga story that is going on the internet right now. If that story doesn't teach you anything, it should teach you that a man having money doesn't make him a high value man. What makes a man a high value man is a man that has character, a man that has self-control, a man that has integrity, a man that is kind. That is what makes a man a high value person, not money. The value is not in the wealth. The value is in the integrity and the character of a man. So go and make money. Go and make money as a woman so that when you are choosing a man, you don't choose a man based on the size of his pocket, but the size of his heart.
I'm so glad she was an available mother. What if she wasn't at that point changing her child's clothes? What if she hadn't noticed to understand her child's body posture and how she was reacting? Because if she was just being nonchalant and just like thing, and she asks I am a product of an available mother, and it is the best thing in the world. My mommy is my baby, I am her baby too. We are both each other's babies. Speaking from a child's standpoint, the best thing you can do for your child is be available. It is so nice when your child feels like they are being seen by their parents and being heard. Knowing your child's favorite color, knowing what they like wearing, knowing how they act when they are angry. I'm sorry for the place that her and her children are right now, but I'm so happy that she was an available mother who paid attention. Because what if she hadn't?
So a man left his wife. A man left his wife and said, you know what? I want to be doing her children now. That is what I want to be doing. A man left his wife and then went to the woman's children, because the woman was a single mom before they both got married. He went to the infant child. Now that infant child, he won the chuk things inside. Like, I really don't understand. I really don't understand what is wrong with some people. What are you people looking for? Like, I don't know. Allow for goodness sake. What is all this? And how she found out was that she was trying to change the diapers of her child, and then found out that that place was very sensitive for the child, and they started asking questions, and then that was how she found out. A full grown ass man, waiting you define for small picking body. What are you looking for, dear? This is really shameful and so and so disgusting. Honestly speaking, if you are a man and if you see picking and so your body they do you need help. Like you need psychiatric help. That's what you need. You need to go and get yourself locked up, because you are not normal. A brown man yourself, you're not a human being.
The trophy wife. I don't think it is right for people to say she's not a good mother because she did not observe what was happening to her child on time. Firstly, that's not a distant member of the family. That's the father of the children. He has prepared an environment that is conducive for him to do whatever he wants to do. It is not her fault that she married such a man. But one thing you will need to know is when we are dealing with a person who already has an intention to do an evil deeds, they are very calculative. They plan way before they execute their plan. That man must have made the environment very conducive. He's a good father. He will be a good father. He cooks. He cleans for the children. He changes their diapers, bathes them, put them to sleep, read storybook for them. He just makes the life easy for the wife. She would feel, oh, he's taking care of his children. So when he does whatever he wants to do and the child is bleeding, how is she supposed to know? When the child's diapers needs to be changed, he says, no, babe, don't worry, I'll change it. Because he knows what he has done. And she's never going to think about it, because why? That's her husband. That's the father of the children. He's taking care of his children. She would definitely be worshiping him. This is a supportive husband. But we need to know that people who do these things, they don't just do it once. They do it little by little. First, they'll start playing with the child, make the child feel comfortable, start touching. They start with touching, start with good words, until the day they finally penetrate, the day they finally do the act. She was lucky to find out. Remember, she said the husband was not at home when she changed the baby's diapers and saw the blood, the red color on it. He was not at home. If he was at home, probably she would not have found out, because he would have suggested that he wants to change it himself, because he knows what he has done. He was not at home, so she had the opportunity to change it. So she was lucky to find out. It is very difficult to find a culprit that is right under your nose. They make life easy for you. You think they are doing it out of love, but they are doing it because of what they are doing in secret. Yes, she should have been more careful, right? It is easier said than done. When you're dealing with a culprit that is in your house, it is easier said than done. She was lucky to have found out.
You people are actually very funny. So you're trying to tell me that a woman who used to be or is a relationship coach came out to say that the man who she was married to or got married to during the period of her giving advice online turned out not only to be abusing and sexually harassing her children, but was also just basically a bum. And what people on the internet have concluded to do is go in her comment section and make fun of her on some, oh, you thought you could tell women how to get the right men, apparently you can't. Do you people know that people are insane? Do you people know that people are actually insane? Because it has never made sense that we try to shame women, heterosexual women, for desiring and pursuing relationships with men who they are also attracted to. We are shaming them for trying to form genuine connections with men and then finding out that these men are not as genuine as them, when we should instead be shaming the men for not even being upright enough to be in relationships with these women. Like, are we thinking? Is it on? I really need to know, because what exactly is happening?
Isis, aka the trophy wife, her children were not abused because she only knew that man for a month or less than a year, however long. Her children were not abused because she believed in sprinkle, sprinkle. Her children were abused because their father is an abuser. Her children were abused because he is an abuser. Like, I don't think that we realize how much the language that we use normalizes the behavior of men while blaming women. Like, it's like we accept that men are monsters, that men do these things, right? Because a majority of the blame is going on. Like, I actually saw Isis' video a couple of days ago. One of my followers sent it to me, sent me the link to YouTube, and I went over and I watched it. And it triggers me because, you know, I'm a victim, and I also work with victims for many, many years. And so it takes me time to compose myself to be able to talk about these things. And I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it at all, but I've since that time seen so many people talking about her experience, and a majority of the focus is on the fact that she considered herself a trophy wife, the fact that she, you know, idolized Sprinkle, she was 7, the fact that, you know, she only knew him for a limited amount of time. Those are not the reasons why this man hurt her children. I can tell you, as someone who worked for the Child SA unit for many, many years, it doesn't matter. Some of these predators will wait for a very, very long time. They will wait for years before they will harm your children. And some of them will do it right away. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying ignore red flags, don't be concerned with discernment, I'm not saying that. I'm saying hold abusers accountable for the abuse that they commit. If it wasn't Isis' children, it would have been somebody else's children, because he is an abuser.
So everybody's talking about this new trophy wife and what she's going through. I just want to say, first of all, shout out to her, right? Because not every woman will stand up in this situation and take action. Not every woman is willing to leave the lifestyle to protect their children. So big shout out to her. We know, some of us, we know pick-me women who will do anything to stay in a marriage, to stay in a relationship, to have a partner, to have a man, and they will stay silent. So for that reason, shout out to her. Kind of wish that she took it off the internet just to protect her girls, right? When I was in the 7th grade, we had this girl, apparently like her dad was like just inappropriate with her, and she told her best friend. And one day her best friend got into like a fight, an argument, and she exposed everything her best friend was telling her. So people will use this to like throw it in the girl's face, like, oh, that's why your dad did this to you, and this is why your dad did this to you, to the point the girl had to leave school at 11th grade. She had to drop out. She couldn't, because everybody would just use it. If anything, they would just throw it in her face. The internet is like undefeated. Somebody's gonna remember this girl. Somebody's gonna put the story 2 and 2 together. It's gonna follow her for the rest of her life. That's the only thing that I didn't like about it. I was like, damn, I wish she could have, like, you know, handled this like a little different. But I do understand when you're going through trauma, you don't think right. And when you're going through trauma, you just want to, like, you know, excel. You just want to pour it out there. You just, you know, so I get it. I'm not bashing her or anything. I actually, if anything, I'm very proud of her for standing up, because believe me, you, as crazy as this sound, some women will not leave. They will not leave. Some mothers will not leave, as crazy as this sound.
If you're marrying only for money, you're still settling. I'm gonna repeat that so you can understand. If you're only marrying for money, you're still settling. You all know about the situation of Isis, the trophy wife. If you are not familiar with the situation, she used to make videos on here, TikTok and YouTube, about how to be a trophy wife, about hypergamy too. And I used to watch her videos. I think they were helpful, to be honest. And this is not about judging anyone. From here, I send my love for her. I'm so sorry. You cannot understand exactly what she's been through. This is more about a reflection. First of all, not everything you see online is perfect. We are humans. We are not perfect. Okay, so don't feel like you are not there or you are not like that girl because you don't have this luxury life and all that stuff, because you don't know how she got it or what she's been through. Okay, so don't compare yourself. Second, I will say that you have to be careful with who you listen here online, because I see many coaches, I don't want to say names, that they only focus on, yeah, get the back, get that money, but have you work on yourself first, because that's crucial if you want to marry someone successful. Because everything is good, looks like gold in front of the camera, but behind the scenes everything was falling apart. It's a reminder that money can't protect you from emotional harm or an unhealthy relationship. It takes courage for her to come here, speak about the situation and leave, because that's gonna help many women that are in the same situation but still with the partners. But why it matters? First of all, I'm gonna say to go heal first and then attract better. Before entering any relationship, it's important for you to face your traumas, because sometimes we have unhealed traumas. That's the reason why you attract the wrong people. For example, that happened to a friend of mine. She was in a relationship with a wealthy guy but ignored his controlling behaviors because he thought that money will bring stability, and eventually she felt trapped. So please go therapy, journal, work through your past pain, and build confidence in you without external validation. Second, have standards, not just aspirations. It's tempting to feel that wealth equals happiness. Sometimes we are looking outside and we don't know exactly what we need. Some people, they just need stability, they just need someone to listen to them. Some people want the luxury life. But because you saw that girl having the luxury life, it doesn't mean that you can handle the luxury life. So please look inside, what do you want? Stop looking what other people are doing and thinking, aspiring that you want the same thing. Emotional connection is important, and mutual respect far more. Don't get trapped on these coaches saying that only money matters. Matters as well if that person is there for you, if you are matching your values, all things matters. And third, I always talk about this in this account, is make your own money. Independence is the ultimate power move. When you have your own financial stability, you can approach relationships from a place of abundance rather than desperation. So you will feel confident enough to walk away when the relationship is no longer serving you. Because yeah, today you can be in the best over the moon, but tomorrow you don't know. Have something going on, please. And spot that red flags, for example, like love booming, ignoring compatibility, or prey on vulnerabilities, because I'm gonna tell you something, these predators can sense you when you are in need. Build your own stability to protect yourself. The real win is being with someone who respects and aligns with you, not just someone that can fund your lifestyle. Make your own money, have your own boundaries, and know that the true wealth is a combination of self-worth and healthy partnerships.
I've always had a problem with that gospel of marrying a provider man, not because I don't believe that you should marry a man who is able to provide, but, and this is because whenever we confront these issues, a lot of women just be like, oh, even if you marry a poor man, it will still happen. And nobody is saying marry a rich man or a poor man. No, anything you marry, it can still happen. But the problem is that with somebody without means, there's a level without, I don't even want to be misunderstood, but somebody with that level of power has more capacity to get away with a crime such as this in comparison to somebody who does not have that level of power. A major problem with the entire thing of attracting a man is that as much as they tell you that you're in your feminine energy, you should get into your feminine energy to attract a man. I personally believe that they are actually in their masculine energy cosplaying the feminine energy, because they are cosplaying in the sense that they want to perform softness by talking softly, dressing a type of way, sitting a type of way, walking a type of way. The fact that you're in an active search or an active hunt for a man is actually a very masculine thing to do. So that is you. You are totally not in your feminine energy if you are trying to attract a man, because you're not living your life. The feminine is where you're pretty much just living your life. I always say this: love should come to you naturally. And when it comes to you naturally, it is easier to discern when it comes naturally than when you are in an active search. Because if you are in an active search, you're actually in search of particular traits. And for this gospel that they preach, it is mostly in search of finances. So when you find that finance backed with a little bit of, whenever you meet somebody, people who are wealthy, it is difficult to even know if they have bad character. It is difficult to know, because women surround everything that concerns dating to how much. When you ask a woman, what is he doing, that like, why do you like him, they'll tell you he cares for me, he provides for me. And when you ask them, what do you mean he cares for you, it's like, I had a problem, financial problem, and he gave it to me. It is mostly always financial. Right? So even when you try to explain to women that it should not only be financial, it's very difficult for them to grasp the concept of not only being financial. A man, in fact, women enjoy it when a man is mean to other women or mean to other people and nice to them. They think it is because they are special. One thing that women need to get rid of is the I'm special, I'm pretty, I am this, I am that mentality. You are not special. You are just another woman within a system. All of you are subjugated. All of you are the same. There is nothing special about you. If you like, be thin, be light-skinned, be extremely feminine, soft-spoken, whatever, be young, be old. At the end of the day, you are just a woman. And that is what you have to understand, that within the patriarchy, you are just a woman. As much as you feel like you're more desirable, it simply means that you fit into the category of what they want to use. So you are closer to, you are a more perfect prey. You are a more perfect prey for them to use. It is not about anything being special. It does not make you more special than another woman. It's like, I heard this somewhere, I can't even remember, but it's like you're auditioning for the position of who to be used best. So that's just it. If you ever have to try to attract a man, the fact that you're putting energy, putting work into trying to attract a man is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. And the moment you begin to do that, you're most likely going to meet a terrible person. So whether it is a poor man or a rich man, the fact that you are the one putting energy into trying to, even if you feel like you're leveling up, as long as you're leveling up to attract a man, there's a high chance that you're going to attract a predator. You're going to attract a terrible person. Now, it now makes it worse when what you're trying to attract is a man with finances, because the higher a man goes financially, the more terrible the person gets with the patriarchy. The more evil the person gets, and the more the person has the capacity to escape the consequences of his actions. Because now we are talking about this, everybody's making videos about it. We don't have information if this guy is being arrested, what is happening to him, we don't know. And I applaud that lady, because if this were to happen in Africa or anywhere else, I can guarantee you that 9 out of 10 times we will not even have that information. And also, I applaud her because she even has the finances to be able to walk out of that situation. A lot of women who do this do not even have the finances to walk out of the situation. They don't have the power, the economic power to walk out of that situation, right? But I actually did not want to talk about it. So you literally just forced this conversation out of my mouth. So I just hope that she gets the help that she needs, and also that the children get the help that they need.
There's this lady on TikTok, her name is Isis Morales, aka the trophy wife. Literally, she built her platform as a trophy wife, educating women, telling them to prioritize themselves, showing them how they can bag high value men and become trophy wives themselves, that kind of stuff. Furthermore, she's a single mother of 2 toddlers, aged 2 and 4 respectively, until she went on a dating site and found Mr. Right. She actually married Mr. Right until recently she found out that Mr. Right has been essaying her 2 daughters, her 2 toddlers. What confuses me is why people are ridiculing her for preaching to women to want a better life. Don't you want a better life? Some people even went as far as saying, oh, you wanted a rich man, you preach nothing of substance, that's what you get. I don't understand. Even the poor and dusty men do the same things. Some poor men have also essayed their children. Even if she decides to stay with a man for 10 years, such behavior is still possible. What are you saying? And to those of you talking about why it took so long for her to check on her kids, you know, it's easy for you to say that when you're not the one in the position. Yeah, because how would she have known that the person she thought was a safe space for her wouldn't be a safe place for her kids? That's her husband. She's been with this man for like years. Did you know that even if she didn't come on here parading herself as a trophy wife, it still could have happened to anybody? anyone, even people without a social media presence. Yeah, personally, I don't watch videos about attracting a high value man, how to bag a high value man. Because the high value men I have bagged, I got them for less, doing the barest of minimums. So, I mean, what works for me may not work for somebody else. Some of the things she puts out there are true, are reality. But as an adult, of course, you should be able to decipher what you take out from the internet, who you listen to, what you decide to implement, and what not. It still doesn't mean she has committed any crime, even if she feels like she has failed her children. When I see single moms getting married, finding the love of their lives, oh, they're happy, yada, yada, yada. Especially single moms with girls, with female children. I always have this thought in my head. I just pray he's a good man. I hope one day he doesn't wake up and claim that this woman's teenage daughter is seducing him, and then the woman at the end of the day puts her out, or he goes to touch the toddler, the one who cannot speak for herself or himself, which sadly happens sometimes, even with boys, even with boy child. It is so sad that this has happened to her, but can we also commend her for listening to her child and for believing her child? Because some of you seek male validation so much that you wouldn't even believe your kid. Can we also commend her for living this rich and comfortable marriage, which some of you will not live? Because you're thinking, I have nothing going on for myself. What do I do? What do I do? You're not living. You're not living the man. You make excuses for him. It takes even more strength to share her story. She shared that story with so much shame. Like, she could barely even look at the camera. She didn't hurt anybody. She was never a bad mom. She cheated on no one. And it's not her fault that somebody she trusted so much, somebody she loved so much, turned out to be so dangerous. How is that even her fault? It is such a sad story. And
Everything that they have said right there. What were your thoughts? Now, this is my thoughts. This woman, I don't want us to judge her so harshly, because I've seen people like giving their opinions and saying, oh, it is her fault, this, that, because she also stated that this kind of thing happened to her. She was S8, and then by her neighbor's husband. So it's quite sad, but I don't think that judging her is the best way. I mean, I'm glad that she came outside to come and air out, how this whole thing actually happened. But then again, people have said that the reason she came out was for this or for that. But I think it's good that she came outside to tell us that me that I'm preaching that, oh, how to be the perfect wife, how to bag the perfect man. Well, I did all those things. I watched the VJJ. I took care of myself. I lost weight. And this man still went ahead and put his hand on our kid. So, I mean, let's be lenient with her. But feel free to leave your thoughts with me right in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.